Barcelona, oh my god, not again. I can't take that. Barcelona are again getting that lethal form. 4-0 defeat to Dortmund, 4-1 to Bayern, 4-0 to Real Madrid, 4-2 to Atletico Madrid. They have been crushing their opponents like they are playing any PlayStation or a console game. It is Lamine Yamal who has confessed that playing at Barcelona under Hansi Flick, it is that PlayStation game which he is enjoying. Oh my god. Arsenal getting 3-0 against Real Madrid. My goodness, how has Mikel Arteta done that? And who on this holy earth could have expected Los Blancos to get a 3-0 defeat against Arsenal? My goodness, what is this going on? Carlo Ancelotti is very close in getting appointed by the Brazilian national team. That is the reason why he is not getting those attentions at Los Blancos, and Real Madrid is suffering for that. Is Carlo Ancelotti going to the Brazilian national team? Oh my god. Vincent Company getting that 2-1 loss against Inter Milan. Simone Inzaghi's man is very confident that they can overcome that because it is Thomas Muller who has posted Kama. What is that? When Thomas Muller is going to post that on his social media handles, that thing comes true. Is the legend again talking true about this? Can Bayern win that against Inter on the second leg? Paris Saint-Germain, my goodness, it is the likes of Luis Enrique thrashing Unai Emery's Aston Villa, the Lions, at the Parc des Princes. But how is Unai Emery going to do when Rashford is not performing? Is Rashford still going to come to United? Hello guys, welcome back to another episode with FC Ramsay, and what a clash that was in the knockouts of the first leg in the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals. My goodness, two nights where fans were divided and the football just separated the fans with their own teams. It was the likes of Bayern Munich against the likes of Inter Milan. It was the likes of Arsenal going on against the likes of Los Blancos, Real Madrid. It was Barcelona against Borussia Dortmund. My goodness. And it was also the likes of big teams, Paris Saint-Germain competing against Aston Villa. What is that going to happen? Let's talk straight into it and not wasting any time. The game between Arsenal and Real Madrid. Who could have expected that Los Blancos will get a thrashing defeat 3-0 against Arsenal? Mikel Arteta's men taking those set pieces and Declan Rice getting those 2 goals in those set pieces. My goodness, it was more worries when Mikel Merino, their striker, getting that 3rd goal on the 75th minute. My goodness. Arsenal, Mikel Arteta team were not having the availability of Gabriel. It was Calafiori, it was Tomiyasu, it was Jesus, it was Kai Havertz. So much of those injuries, and then also they made it was only that set piece mentality where Mikel Arteta's men made it good at the Emirates Stadium against Los Blancos. And Real Madrid, with the likes of Kylian Mbappe and Jude Bellingham, has given that warning. We can make that because Los Blancos in the second leg at their home of Santiago Bernabeu, the story will be different. They have got the potential, the attacks of the trios of Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo into the attacks. That will be a huge one. Jude Bellingham is also on that. It will be the likes of Tchouaméni who will be back from those suspensions. Mendy is that man injured. Carvalho is on a long-term injury. It is the likes of Lunin who will be also seen back. But Ceballos will also be the man. Camavinga got that red card into that. My goodness, Camavinga is solely taking the responsibilities time and again whenever Real Madrid is losing it. And Los Blancos fans, I don't know what to say. It was a big disappointment getting those 3-0 defeats to Arsenal, because in the Women's Champions League also, it was the likes of Arsenal Gunners women's team who got those wins against Los Blancos. I mean, Real Madrid women's team got that defeat to Arsenal women's in the Champions League, and in the men's Champions League, it is also Arsenal Mikel Arteta's team getting that win over Carlo Ancelotti. Ancelotti, is he going to join the Brazilian national team after this? Is that the transfer which is looking forward into it? Because the Brazilian national team are time and again putting those money on the table for Carlo Ancelotti to join them. Will that be the story? But Real Madrid has got that threat warning coming in from Kylian Mbappe and the likes of Jude Bellingham to Arsenal that they are going to make that. But if Kylian Mbappe wants that, if Vinicius Jr. wants that to be happening, if it is the likes of Rodrigo, these 3 trios, they can overcome. They can overcome. If Arsenal would have got that 5-0 on an aggregate in the first leg, then also I would have been confident enough and I would have stated Real Madrid are going to make that. Real Madrid, Los Blancos are going to get that. And at the Santiago Bernabeu, where the mentality is going to play, it is that quite thing where Real Madrid will make it. But only thing is that the clicking, that clinical finishing from Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo needs to be happening. Nothing more. But Arsenal, in their second leg at the Santiago Bernabeu, they will be just lowering their block into their defensive aspect. All of their 11 men will be safeguarding the nets because a 3-0 lead is enough, So we will be having the watch along, and the second leg watch along will be when the live telecast is going on. We were having the watch along of the first leg as well. I was depressed. I was having nothing in me was left into it because Real Madrid getting those defeats. But it is on to that second game, which we will be now talking about, is the likes of Barcelona getting those 4 goals. Is Borussia Dortmund. Barcelona has been doing it consistently. Hansi Flick, why Bayern Munich management just let Hansi Flick go to Barcelona? I just couldn't understand this. And all my status, all my facts about Bayern Munich leaving Hansi Flick hasn't been looking that good, but Barcelona time and again getting those thrashing victories against the likes of Real Madrid, against the likes of Bayern Munich, now this time against Borussia Dortmund. They have thrashed Diogo Simeone's Atletico Madrid. My goodness, Barcelona are making that statement good enough because it is Hansi Flick, their coach, which they have got that hitman from Bayern Munich going to Barcelona. It has been my biggest agony, biggest depression in this whole era of watching football for the past 25 years. Don't deny the fact, it is my biggest depression when I heard that Hansi Flick is moving to Barcelona. It was Lewandowski moving that, but it is Rafinha and Lewandowski. Rafinha has got 12 goals in the Champions League. It is Lewandowski who has got 11 goals in the Champions League. Hansi Flick is such a strict manager as well as a coach on the pitch as well as in the training sessions. He makes those guidelines so good enough that he doesn't even give those players in the first starting lineup if in the training sessions they are not coming in time, as well as there is a fine imposed on the players when they are not performing in the training session as well. What is that more kind of dope which Hansi Flick is providing to Barcelona because they are playing like that? And Lamine Yamal has also confessed that playing at Barcelona under Hansi Flick, it is looking as if he is playing any console game, he is playing any mobile game on football. He has confessed that. And it is looking like the same. Because that youngster who was at the time of Xavi's arena was not looking that lethal, but he was marvelous. But Hansi Flick has transformed this. I mean, the pairing of Martinez, the pairing of Kubasi, Pedri, Lopez, everything is doing so good. I mean, in this game, it was the unavailability of Dani Olmo, Marc Casado, Mark Benrell, but it was Dortmund who were also missing those Nico Schlotterbeck, Sabitzer, as well as Campbell in those injuries. But nothing. Also, Dortmund faced Barcelona this season in the Champions League only in the month of December, where Nuri Sahin was their manager. They performed well. They got few opportunities as well. They scored 2 goals. That is respectable. I mean, the scoreline was 3-2 in the month of December when Barcelona and Dortmund faced at the Signal Iduna Park in the group stages of the tournament of the Champions League. But over here on the first leg, it was at the home of Barcelona. I mean, it wasn't the Camp Nou. It was the Luis Olympic Company Stadium which they were playing. And Dortmund, under their new manager, Niko Kovac, just couldn't get a single reply. I mean, talking about the stats of the game, if you just have a look at it, I mean, it was those 5 big chances Barcelona got. They converted 4, and Dortmund also got 2 big chances. Dortmund are really doing bad in the Bundesliga. They are on some sort of transition which is going on. They have even sold their player elite man on the super subs, Daniel Malen. What is that going to be Dortmund in the next season? Are they going to play the Champions League? Because looking at the Bundesliga table, no. The previous season's finalist, Dortmund, has got a thrashing defeat in the first leg, 4-0 down, and it is Los Blancos 3-0 down. The 2 finalists of the previous season have got that thrashing defeats in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Will they make it into the semifinals? We will be watching that. But the first one, which I said that Los Blancos has some sort of expectations they can overcome against Arsenal, but Dortmund 4-0 down against Barcelona in the second leg, I don't think that is possible. Niko Kovac and his Borussia Dortmund have to learn the things and they have to get those transitions good. And in the next season, if they are going to qualify for the next season of the Champions League, then it is going to be a different story. Moving on to the next game, it was the likes of Paris Saint-Germain. My goodness, 3-1 against Aston Villa. Unai Emery just couldn't get any reply. It was only that opportunity from Rodgers, and the goal map over here looks so disheartening because everything which happened, it was only that striking opportunity where Rodgers was the man who got that good, and it was the likes of that sole goal. Morgan Rodgers just made that, but this lineup, Rashford coming in into the striking forward position. Oh my God, Marcus Rashford, I don't consider him as a player anymore. He needs those spaces to run. He plays good on the wings. He loves to run for the ball. He loves to chase the ball and make those shots. If you are allowing him to play on the center forwards, how is that going to happen? Unai Emery making those transfers for Rashford, bringing him from United to Aston Villa, will that be the hope good for him? Nothing is looking good for Unai Emery because PSG just trashed that. And looking at that, they got 29 shots on goal, 10 on target. It was only the likes of Emilio Martinez who was just safeguarding the nest. But how can you safeguard it when you are getting 29 bombers coming on your way? Emilio Martinez just nailed it. Bit bad, because how can you do that when so many of the attacks are coming in? Then also he did something, and Aston Villa still has some respect with an aggregate of 2-0 deficit in it, a total of 3-1. Will Aston Villa be making it at the Villa Park for the second leg? That will be an uphill task, a mountain, big mountain to climb for Unai Emery's man. But Luis Enrique's man in the League One, in the French League, they haven't got any fixtures as well. My goodness. What is that? It is all for PSG to come big against Aston Villa, and they will make it. They will make it. They will make it into the semi-finals. PSG has been doing good. They have got those defeats against Bayern. They have got those defeats against Liverpool, but that was a different story, and that happened. They got those defeats against Atletico Madrid, but it was in the group stages of the tournament, those new fixtures which were being played. PSG will make it into the second leg and they will advance. Aston Villa has now no hopes, no expectations left. And moving on to the last game, where it was the likes of Bayern Munich at the Alliance facing the Nerazzurri's Inter Simone Inzaghi's men. But Vincent Kompany has stated that a loss of 1 goal into that is not that good enough, and Bayern Munich can still make it against Inter at the San Siro. Oh my God, what a big statement from Vincent Kompany. Such a novice manager, first time taking charges and handling a first-tier team into the Champions League, moving into the quarterfinals. He has been making his statements good in the Bundesliga. He has been maintaining that first position in the Bundesliga so far and eliminating Leverkusen from the Champions League. That is all what he has done. At the away games in the Champions League, in the group stages, he has been losing some for the away games. At home also, he has lost to Leverkusen in the DFB Pokals. But he has been maintaining that because he is keeping the Bundesliga on the target, and still Bayern Munich are 6 points ahead of the second spot, Leverkusen. That is what Vincent Kompany still has that uplift confidence in him. But to talk about Bayern in this game, we will say that is Bayern carrying Vincent Kompany into their career, or it is the likes of Vincent Kompany who is carrying Bayern Munich? I think it is the reverse. It is Bayern Munich who are carrying Vincent Kompany into it, and Vincent Kompany is gaining everything from that. But Bayern are not at all gaining anything from Vincent Kompany to be coming into it, because look at the stats of this game. It is those 20 shots Bayern took that into it, 7 on target, but there were many clinical opportunities where Harry Kane, it was the likes of Guerrero, it was the likes of Sane, they could have converted it, but it was the absence of Jamal Musiala Bambi for Bayern Munich. Jamal Musiala Bambi is not available. It is likes of Kingsley Coman who wasn't available. Bookman was injury, Hiroki Ito, Upamecano, Alphonso Davies, Manuel Neuer. It is those big injuries in the Champions League, those different fixtures, big fixtures which has been played, and all the DFB Pokal, the Super Cup, the Bundesliga, the Champions League, as well as the FIFA World Cup is also coming on the next season. What is that going to be? Big injuries are making that statement, but fans now are getting separated. Some are saying that injuries are a part of the game, but how can you afford that when you are having 8 elite players who were in the starting lineups for you throughout the season are injured just with 5 to 6 games left in their domestic leagues, in their national leagues, as well as they have got those Champions League in the fixtures as well. My goodness, it was also the likes of Simone Inzaghi's men, where they were having Dumfries, the likes of Zelinski, Carboni, and Mehdi Taremi. They were absent because only 4 of the players from Inter were absent, but it was the likes of Jan Sommer who was saving that day. But it is Thomas Muller who has posted on his handle that keep calm. Oh my God, keep calm. Thomas Muller is posting. Is it likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, where Thomas Muller is also moving into that, because the only sole goal which Bayern got into that was after the substitution of Thomas Muller, and Thomas Muller nailed that. And he has also posted on his social media handle at Facebook that they are going to overcome Inter in the second leg. My goodness, what is that going to be happening? Are Bayern really going to make it and get past Inter in the Champions League? We will be waiting for that watch along, and the Bayern fans will be really expecting Bayern to get hit good and hope they make that big. What were your predictions? We got that on our live stream, and those of you who voted for the different teams on the watch alongs for both the nights of the Champions League, we have been giving away those big things of those jerseys. So yes, we will be having the watch along of the second leg as well, and for tonight it is the likes of Europa League, where we will be watching the game where Frankfurt will be facing Tottenham and Manchester United will be facing the likes of Olympique Lyon. We will be having the watch along, and yes, do give your opinions that whether in the second leg, the big dogs who have got those defeats will be making that deficit and move to the next stages of the tournament, or it is those who have got those victories will get it straight into the next stages of the tournament. Give your comments, and do like us, do share us, do subscribe us. Get more football updates from FC Ramsay time and again. Before that, ending this video, give us those like, share, and subscribe. Keep going, guys. Keep going. Goals is that matters to win matches, not strategies, not tactics. Only the ball inside the net. So yes, keep going.